It's been a while, but you are listening to ExCons4 Trump live on IntellectualRadio.com. That's ExCons4, the number 4 Trump live on Intellectual Radio. Remember, for live call-ins, that's 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. That, and I would like to hear from you. That's ExCons4, the number 4 Trump on Intellectual Radio. Also visit our website at ExCons4, the number 4 Trump.com. That's ExCons4Trump.com, where you can get your latest hat, your latest T-shirt, your latest sweater, and represent for the movement. This movement is one of agitation, progress, advancement, and pushing forth the narrative that we are no longer slaves. We are no longer slaves to the Democratic Party or any party for that matter. This isn't personal for us. Well, it is personal, but this is all business for us in our community. I want to talk to y'all. It's been 2 weeks since I've been here. We've been busy making things happen, doing with the store, doing a lot of initiatives around the country, as well as just putting out the word and family issues, matters, and different things that have happened, even birthdays. It's just that we have to now focus in and hone in. I think we got like what 52 days or 50 days before the election. So we really putting in this work. I'm tell y'all about a lot of the movement and upcoming things we got. Things we got coming up. I wanted to just sit here and talk today a little bit and listen to you all if you want to call in. That's live 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. And that's ExCons4, the number 4 Trump live on Intellectual Radio every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 o'clock. That's every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 9 o'clock. It is most definitely time. Listen, these people so cold, Earl, they'll remove any type of video. ExCons4 Trump live, remove right on Facebook. So this is the thing I talk about when we talk about democracy, right? It's not real. It's not real. It's fake. Freedom of speech isn't real. Freedom of speech isn't real. Just as I'm sitting here on ExCons4 Trump live, I got my Facebook live up. They removed the video off of Facebook. They removed the video off Facebook. See, that's why when I operate, or I've been building my Twitter followers, because from there, from the Twitter space, you can actually be yourself, say what you want to say, and push your agenda, and it treated as having a free voice. This is what we're dealing with. We're dealing with these media networks that we ultimately have to destroy. We ultimately have to get rid of them and stop using them because they are not for us. These people don't want you to talk the truth. See, if everybody go along and get along, Earl, the Facebook every day, all day shows murders. I've seen them even showing women being raped and children being victimized on Facebook. I seen dogs and cats being abused, all type of stuff. And they will continue to show these things on Facebook. But when it comes to talking truth and having your own opinion and your own thought, you can forget it. That's not happening. They're not going to allow it to happen. Watch that. I'm going to do it again, Earl. Watch it. Loading. Go live. Boom. Now that I talk to them, they may let it stay on a little longer. That's for y'all just tuning in. Who was on live on the Facebook. I apologize. Facebook don't like truth. Facebook don't like you to be yourself. They want you to be a puppet. And if you say anything really about Trump in a positive light on Facebook, they remove you. That's happened too many times when it comes to what I'm saying. This is why I know you look at the landscape of what's happening with Donald Trump. Two assassination attempts. Two assassination attempts. I ask you, who trying to kill Kamala? Who trying to kill the Democrats? See the rhetoric that the left wing, the left side of the bird is pushing, create a lot of the violence and create a lot of the issues that has sparked a lot of the attempted assassination. All day long, you can say anything you want about Trump. They can talk. I hear them talk about Trump, call Trump all types of names. They can say whatever they want about Trump. And then soon as you say something about Kamala or the Democrats, Facebook will remove you or see that as hate speech or something. But you can't say nothing about them, but they can talk about Donald Trump. So for y'all just tuning in, Victoria, Facebook just has, I was on, this is ExCons for Trump Live. That's 4, the number 4. Facebook just shut my Facebook down when I start talking about Trump. That's not the first time they've done that. And in light of Mr. Trump, Mr. President Trump, all the assassination attempts and all the vitriol that everyone could say about that man, try saying it about Kamala Harris and watch what happens. They continue to promote that and they'll push her, but you can't say nothing about him. So, about her. You can talk about him like a dog all you want to. For those just tuning in, if you want to call in live and have a conversation, that's 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. Ask yourself, why do they keep trying to kill that man? You can't say he's not the worst person we've ever had in office that has violated black people. We've had worse people in office. I'm telling you, we have. Especially in policy. Why? Forget conversation. We know who Donald Trump is. Donald Trump disrupts the landscape of America, of a systemic political climate. He disrupts that. He's not a Republican. He's not a true anything. He speaks his mind. He can't. The problem is he can't even stay on script. He's so free with his tongue. Just to keep the line so that people won't see him as though he's a loose cannon. So they can't even control him on the right side. That is not what they want. That is not what the Republican Party, the old guard, want in office. They want to be able to get rid of him. But the Democrats have stoked all of the vitriol and the rhetoric towards this man. They have. All through, I see all type of negative stuff. So I just want to talk about ex-cons in America. Since it's been about 2 weeks since I've been here. I want to talk about the brothers who come home. Earl, they come home. What's up, Rick? They come home. Rodney, Dorothy, Tree Ray. They try to do it the right way. Shed alive, everyone. They try to do it the right way, Earl. They get a job. They no longer participate in a life of crime. They try to be good fathers to their children and husbands to their wives. And they actually are a part of the community that reduce violence throughout the city and the state and the country. They're also a part of a community that mentor a lot of young men at risk youth. They're part of a workforce, Earl. If you remove returning citizens from the manual job and the labors, the warehouse, the factories, the transportation, the trucking industry, you remove us from those spaces, Earl, America will come to a halt. If ex-cons stop performing violence interruption and violence intervention, think about the number of violence that will happen if you didn't have returning citizens working in the spaces as subject matter experts of reducing violence. Imagine what it would look like without us on the front line in these communities talking to these little homies. So ex-con, not only haven't for 50 years, 60 years, the Democratic Party made us whole after we've served our debt to society, but the Democratic Party hasn't made black people whole after black people have been violated, um, and families have been violated with mass incarceration, um, early just disinvestment, redlining, and all the things that have happened to us under Democratic rule. For 60 years, we hook, line, and sinker have followed Democratic narratives. For 60 years, our communities have continued to be disinvested in. For 60 years, we are highest rate of unemployment. We have the highest rate of violence and death in our communities. We have the highest disease levels, low health care, poor educational systems. Yet we continue hook, line, and sinker to vote for the same party without a pushback. People say, Tyrone, why ex-cons for Trump? I keep saying I wouldn't care if it was ex-cons for Mickey Mouse, if it was ex-cons for Daffy Duck, if it was ex-cons for Bruto, ain't that what was his name? Popeye. I'm voting for Popeye. Because at some point, we got to push back against these individuals who think they have a monopoly on the black vote, especially our poor little women. Our women, our sisters vote, our mothers and grandmamas have voted, just as they support these bootleg pastors, have voted over and over and over again for the Democratic Party. They both blue no matter who. They both blue no matter what, Earl. And that has to stop. That really has to stop. For y'all just tuning in, I just wanted to say, as a live call in at 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953. I had it all on the line, but Facebook took me off the Facebook and deleted my video. They deleted my video, took me off Facebook on the first video. It's amazing how we can show shootings and murders. We can show all manner of ills and evil on Facebook. But when we start talking about Donald Trump and black people stealing away from the Democratic plantation and finding, I often say, and I don't want to say it, but I'm going to say it. If you're not going to vote for Donald Trump because you have a problem with him, stay at home. How about that? A no vote is a vote. A no vote is your right and your choice is a vote. If you're not going to vote to transform and change the narrative of the Democratic Party, then you should stay at home. I could care less about any party as a whole. My objective is merely to show you that we have to give another party an opportunity. Republicans don't really chase after us because historically, hook, line, and sinker, we have voted for one party as a people. But I'm going to tell you this. America is divided today with the black vote. And I'm talking about black males. I saw today Kamala Harris, she going after black men. How's she going to do that? And lock them up at the same time? Huh? How's she going to do that? She going after black men. When and what point and what time do she think she going to get black men vote when they realize she's a prosecutor as we continue to teach about her record? You ask her about any accomplishment, anything she want to do for our country. She can't give you a 10-point program on how to help black people. And these silly news medias keep letting her get away with this. She can't even answer a truthful question. What's her nationality? Have you ever heard what she said? Have she ever said openly, I am such and such? I haven't heard her one time say what her nationality is, even after they've asked her. Furthermore, she can't give me 10-point program of what she gonna do for black. Oh, I forgot. I'm never gonna say I'm just gonna do anything for just black people. Oh, she didn't say that? She didn't say that? This woman can't give us 10-point program on how to help black communities, how to overcome violence, how to overcome unemployment, how to overcome disinvestment in our community and all this Jim Crowing that still happens, how to overcome mass incarceration of black men and boys and women, since black women are the fastest growing population of prison, last I checked, Earl. Black women are the fastest growing population of prison, and neither candidate even talk about that. Nobody talk about that. Yeah, she said she's an Indian female. Exactly, Crow. That's what she said. She said it. I'm so excited today. I'm so motivated today because across the country, we are locking in with black men, ex-cons for Trump all over the country. And we're making a stand to meet up and to guide and to organize. Over the next 3 or 4 days, or maybe a week, y'all about to see a serious offensive that happened for black men in Chicago and in Illinois and Detroit and a lot of the swing states where we're pushing our agenda. You're about to see a lot of things happen. Stay tuned in the next 3 or 4 days for the press conference. You've got to see a press conference of black men, ex-cons for Trump, mobilizing to bring home that vote, mobilizing to encourage our women, and we've been able to convert a few, that we have to push back against this agenda of the Democratic Party to hook, line, and sinker, bring us and keep us enslaved. I'm going to say it again in case you don't know it. Our communities are enslaved by the Democratic Party. I'm going to say it again. Our communities, matter of fact, we don't have communities. Hey, Earl, we don't have communities. Our blocks, our towns, our streets, where we lay our heads, where we house our bodies, are enslaved by the Democratic Party. Our streets are terrorized because of the Democratic Party. Our children, our own children, and our own communities are violated because of the policies and the lack of opportunities fostered by the Democratic Party. Or shall I say black elected officials? Or shall I say white Democratic officials? What should I say? Because if I don't say party, and if it's not just, if I speak of an individual and it's a party as a whole, and none of the individuals that's in the party really speak up or do anything for our communities, then how are they excluded from the party? I get a few that say, I'm doing right. It's tantamount of when I've asked police officers and I've said to them that all police officers, Earl, are bad cops. One of the cops say, man, how? All that's not bad. I said, what do you mean? I said, there's no good police officers. Just to agitate them, to show them what my point was. Facebook fans and listeners and friends. I said to them, there's no such thing as a good cop. I said, they said it is. I said, I can prove to you that there's no such thing as a good cop. They said, that's a lie. How? I said, by a show of hand, Earl, all you officers in here, lieutenants and commanders as well, how many of y'all in this room have turned in bad cops? Raise your hand up. Out of every cop in the room, Earl, I asked them to raise their hand to tell me how many of them out of all the hands raised up have turned in bad cops. How many hands you think went up, Earl? None. See, bad cops, good cops ought to turn in bad cops as an ethical standard, but they're not. They all follow a blue badge and a blue code. No different. No different than your Divine Nine or your Boule class of black people. They don't help the little Negro that's in the community that's suffering. They get their job, they pass on, they get their patriotism, their patronage. They get these jobs and they flip from one job to the next job, always a revolving door, no matter who's in office. They go to the next post and position, no matter how bad they done in the last office. I'm talking about Democrats in Chicago and Illinois. Yeah, Republicans doing that too. But I'm telling you about the communities that has hook, line, and sinker voted democratically across this country. That's what I'm talking about. Hook, line, and sinker, we continue to vote the same way with no pushback. But yet we got all other answers and everything to say as a black community. We always talking about issues of politics when we don't even stand on a politician to do what they said they was going to do when we elected them. Man, it was a few of us downtown when they started talking about that 51 million, Earl, for the migrants the first time. You remember? That 51 million they first said they was going to give non-citizens of our tax dollars, of our money. And they said it's not coming from this. I don't care if it came out the sky, Earl. Nobody go before us. No individuals, class, caste, or culture come before black people in America who ancestors built this country with their blood, sweat, and tears, who fought for a better way for us to have a better life, not prisons and graveyards. Our ancestors did not fight for us to have prisons and graveyards as our only lot in life. How can we allow openly, and you all talking about Kamala Harris and you for her, then who the hell you was for when the migrants came in the communities and our funding went to them? Who were you for then? Because, man, I saw them raise 40-something million, bro, for a woman they never even met, never seen, never held real office. Like I'm saying, to help us. They raised all that money for her. I said, the Boule class, we're going to have to flip it on them because they are our enemies. This Boule class and bourgeoisie class, this so-called these fraternities and sororities and these Masons and all these people that keep playing games in our face with this Democratic Party while they eat and the little wolves out there starving, and you think you're going to escape not ever feeding the wolves? You think you're going to not ever feed the wolves? How do you kill all the animals, discard of all the animals, and then expect these wolves not to have nothing to eat on? They're going to eat on you. And they probably should, because a lot of us turn our back on the community once we think we've made it. Because once you get inundated in that party politics, it becomes very, very dangerous. Because now, no matter how much you've developed, how much you've gained, how much success you have, you can be sitting at a light and somebody come put a gun in your face and say, get out that car. Get out that nice car you driving. Oh, you like to have a little slingshot running around, huh? Get out of there. Huh? Everything we achieve a success that is the American dream is a nightmare to some of our communities. Because what good is it to have a successful job, successful career, and you got to have always looking behind your back, Earl, every time you pull up at a stop sign, or every time you walk downtown, or every time you walk down the block? What good is it to have a nice community and somebody sitting in the house because they done accosted your wife or your children, and they got a home invasion going on because they robbing the material resources that you've been able to acquire from your good job, from your success. See, only a fool think he can eat and not feed the people. They live and they feed off your dead flesh, then turn around and tell you they working for you. These same people, I'm with her, feed off your dead flesh because she's prosecuted whole groups of people, men, black men, and then destroyed their families in the interim of all of that. Kamala Harris. Trump released the put forth the First Step Act that released thousands of black men out of prison due to excessive sentencing from the Clinton 94 crime bill. But you want us to vote for who? You want those brothers to vote for who and those brothers to hate Trump? And he released them from prison? Then look at this crazy part right here. Real quick. 708-223-8953. That's 708-223-8953 live call in. Here's a woman and a man and a party that tells you, that say to you, that if you give them a chance again to be in office, because she's in office now, her and Joe Biden. If you give them a chance now, once again, to be in office, they're going to do what they're going to do for you, what they said and they promised. But please explain to me how have Kamala Harris and Joe Biden's policy served our communities as it stands? When I go to Inglewood, Lawndale, Woodlawn, Austin, South Shore, where else? What other city? Auburn, Gresham, and all of these communities, I see no effect of positive governance coming from the Democratic Party in this city. In fact, I see more violence and more unemployment under the Democratic Party than I've ever seen of any party. It surely wasn't under Trump. I think Trump didn't leave us in a deficit. We're in a city right now where the mayor, where our current government is $1 billion in debt. How you $1 billion in debt in one city like that? $1 billion in debt. So, Earl, you tell me, who do they get that money from to recover from $1 billion in debt? Who get those taxes? Somebody, Marshall Cotton said, not all are guilty, but those that are should be prosecuted. Don't do the crime. Listen, I'm not. Most of these people who talk about crime and punishment, they always overlook the fact, Earl, that black men and boys don't produce extended clips, 100-round drums, bullets, assault white rifles, cocaine, heroin, weed. Yet we are affected by all those accoutrements of war and evil that someone placed in our communities. I'm going to say it again. It's easy for you to blame victims instead of blaming the rapist. It's easy for you to blame the woman that's being raped and not the one doing the raping. That's what happened to our community. They have raped us. They have robbed us of our life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness. They've put under the Democratic watch, because we have an attorney general that does nothing. He won't prosecute. He won't prosecute a ham sandwich. That man won't prosecute a ham sandwich. At least you could prosecute a turkey sandwich. He won't prosecute nothing, especially dealing with Democrats. That's why these people are not for us. They are not for us. We got to show them that they don't have a monopoly on our vote. They don't have a monopoly on our vote. We absolutely got to transform the landscape of politics. Soon as this election is over, Earl, soon as this election is over, soon as this election ends, for the presidency, the national election, we're going to start plucking you off locally. ExCons for this alderman. ExCons for this state rep. ExCons for this prosecutor, attorney general. ExCons for this governor. Please find us a governor that we can ride behind. Please find us a governor that we can support. Find us one, which ward we need to remove. ExCons for 4th Ward, 3rd Ward, 2nd Ward. ExCons for 5th Ward. We are about to start 6th Ward, 7th Ward, 8th Ward, 16, 13, 15, and all the way around. ExCons4 is just the prelude that say, hey, we recognize that ex felons, we have the right to vote. We recognize that with over 500,000 ex-cons and justice involved individuals in the state of Illinois, that we can affect change in this whole state. J.B. Pritzker got to go. Now, y'all go tell them I said it. Go tell them ex-cons for Mickey Mouse is going to vote for Mickey Mouse, whoever running, if his name Mickey Mouse, against this current government. We don't need you no more. ExCons for the next mayor of Chicago. ExCons for the next mayor, because our current mayor has not served us and isn't going to serve us because he's not his own man. We're going to fix this. We're going to create the movement and necessary change. So you stop talking about Trump. There's only 2 people that can win in this election, Earl. You got people talking about they're going to vote for Cornel West. You're wasting your vote. You might well stay home. You might well stay home. But you're right, you got the right to vote for Cornel West. See, Cornel West not even smart to be like Kennedy. Kennedy said, hey, I know I can't win, so let me line up with a party that can best serve my interests. See, that's what white folks do. They don't get emotional, caught up, oh, that's Trump. He gonna destroy the country. He didn't destroy it last time. In fact, only the Democratic Party win, I think, 3 or 4 wars that I know of. I'm hearing this more. Democrats is destroying the country. We at war in Ukraine. We have spent over $600 billion. Man, where we get $600 billion from? Hey, all y'all out there, if you can help me. Eric Berry, ExCon for Trump, we moving. Eric Berry, where did we get $600 billion to pay for Ukraine? Where do that money come from? Somebody please tell me, how do we get $600 billion to pay for a war? Somebody please tell me, what would $600 billion do for Chicago? What would $600 billion do for America, Earl? How is it okay for $600 billion to go for war, but it's not okay for $600 billion to go into the households of the people in America? Somebody out there got a calculator. How much can each household, we got 300 million people, Earl? How much is 300 million, even if it's a 1-year-old baby? How much is 300 million divided by 600 billion? Huh? How much is that? How is it that we can freely give our tax dollars to war and borrow on our name for war, but we can't give $600 billion to American citizens? So that means each city, if you divide that by 50 states, each state could get a portion of that money. And most of the majority of the funds going to the communities most affected by poverty. Well, I mean white communities, black communities, Latino communities, American communities, since we are the United States of America. See, they want to make you think we stupid because or we crazy or we just we dumb or ignorant because we say ex-cons for Trump. Please explain to me, when have America gave a damn about ex-cons? When? How is it possible that we serve our debt to society as returning citizens, yet we have no housing when we come home? You got over 18,000 or more ex-cons that's homeless. Are you hearing what I'm telling you? You got over 18,000 or more ex-felons that's homeless when they come home. They don't have nothing. They don't have a studio apartment of their own. I would have been happy, Earl, to come home and after serving 21 years straight in prison, Earl, I would have been happy to come home to a cell that was mine. I'm going to say it again. As a returning citizen, ex-con, when I was released from prison after serving 21 years, the great America thing they could have did, if you housed me for 40 years, Earl, off the taxpayers' dollars in a 9x12 cell with a cot, a toilet, and a table, a desk. For 21 years, I lived in that box with the taxpayers' dollars of $38,000 to $40,000 a year. Earl, I would have been happy, said, when I paid my debt to society to get back on my feet so we don't go back to a life of crime, for our government to have us a 9x12 apartment, a 9x12 cell for me to live in that I can call my own, that I can pay $10 a month worth of rent. and call my own and be at peace in my own little cell that I have my own key to, that I can have something, that I have some dignity to build back my pride, my self-esteem, my self-worth, my values. Coming back into a Democratic-led city that was mostly led by black men and women, to be able to give us some housing that we can call our own without bothering our relatives who don't even know us no more, Earl, because we've been gone for 21 years. I don't even know what it looked like in the communities that I was snatched up from. It's a party, Marshall. It's the party. Because all of those that's lined up to the party has violated us. They play party. It's all a good boy, systemic good boy game. They are winning and enslaving us in the name of party. While everybody in this country receive benefit but black people. $600 billion in Ukraine could have been our reparations, Earl. I implore you all to ask Brandon Johnson, When is he going to find $200 million for black people in Chicago? Ask J.B. Pritzker. He's a Jew. When is he going to find reparation money for black people in Chicago? For all of the issues and ills, even while the white man in the system got his foot on our neck, we still happily serve. So many of you black folks go to work every day to keep racism alive. I'm going to say it again. Black women, y'all got all the jobs. Y'all go to work every day to keep the system in power. And they play in our face with social equity and DEI, which means black men need not apply. Ex-con by not apply at all. Don't even think of applying. This is a serious thing, man. This serious. This is serious as a heart attack. Stuff we ain't even thinking about is happening right in our face. We can't have only graveyards and funeral homes and prisons for our women and our children, because the schools ain't worth a damn. The school board leaders not worth anything. Most of them that's running are backed and supported by CTU and the unions. I'm telling you, y'all about to get it together, because we are dying. We're at war. We at war. Sister, whoever Marsha Cotton is, you are part of the problem. Straight up. You don't understand that we can't rise, you can't rise together. If we don't rise together, you can't rise either. Because I don't know how much you miss what I'm saying. Because when black women get carjacked and robbed, guess who they call? Black man. Call Tyrone Muhammad. With all the initiative they're taking. They're raising these boys by themselves. These black women. Because most of your black men have been murdered before they're 25. And most of your black men are incarcerated, on drugs, or unemployed. A bulk of them. As it relates to black men and boys ages 18 to 24, you got over 70% unemployment rate. That has nothing to do with initiative. That's systemic. That's systemic. And it's systemic to make women the head of households. It's no Earl majority. It's no dual household or function. The whole objective is to be to devalue masculinity in the black male presence in these households. That's why these little babies don't have real role models, because half of them is feminine. The men in the house feminine. They feminine. They feminine. So keep on, but keep watching me. That's what you do, because I'm going to keep pushing. I'm going to keep pushing. And whether you know about the COINTELPRO to stop the rise of the Black Messiah, to murder your kids, to stick a needle in their brain, whether you know now about that or not, sisters, it's still going on. It's just so covert now. It's right in your face, and you don't even see it. We have no real true associations with one another. I'm telling you, I can do this all day. I can do this all day and just observe everything that's happening to us long after the Democratic National Convention left. You don't hear nothing of that. They spent all that money on the city. Earl, my group, we locked the expressways down as a protest. ECCSE shut the Dan Ryan down as a protest about the murders and the guns and all the violence in Chicago and in the state of Illinois. We went to prison. We went to jail. They arrested us, impound my cars, impound ECCSC cars and everything. For talking about violence happening and making a statement. And then they let the Mexicans, they set up police, they let these cultural things, these people do whatever they want all downtown, violating other citizens' rights. Well, we can't move and go in the city because the police done locked the downtown down, protect downtown, while our communities are destroyed, while our communities are violated. If you like Mexico so much, go to Mexico. If you want to flag all your flags and everything, go there. If you want to violate us, you're going to violate our community and violate everybody else with the permission and the help of the government. Yet, when we stand and say, man, we can't be getting murdered in these communities, these guns can't keep infiltrating our homes, we go to jail. Come on, man. You ain't going to tell me, Earl, that ain't a plot. I ain't go to jail under no Republican rule, Earl. When I stood on that, I went to jail with the governor, J.B. Pritzker, as the leader. I went to jail because the state police is his. I went to jail with Lori Lightfoot, a black woman. We talking about, man, it's murders happening, and we shedding light on it. At what point is that not to be commended? To say, hey, we might need to listen. No, they can ride around with flags, drop the tree, jump on top of buses, jump on top of cars. And we have to be subjected as a community to that madness. Man, y'all about to wake up. We are destroyed in our own city and communities. Yes, or yes, absolutely. And it's not going to change because we have no backbones that lead us. See, I can say something and we can see it as a joke. But y'all know I ain't lying. I ain't said nothing that was a lie. I could be misinformed about something. Like Brother Earl Vincent said, they can fund everybody but us. They're not going to fund us, Earl, because the goal is to use Black Death as a hustle. Everybody eat off of our dead carcass. Say this again. Every community, every people, every foreigner, and every politician in Chicago and in America, especially black ones, eat off of your dead carcass. They eat off of your dead flesh. And they ought to be ashamed of themselves because the chicken's going to come home to roost and they not going to be able to stop it because they creating a climate for revolution. I'm telling you this. They creating a climate. ExCons for the Trump, for Trump is the pushback against all of the mass incarceration, the political prisoners, free Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford. All of that. You're gonna lock him up. You got all type of criminals over here, Earl, from Ukraine, from Venezuela, that they done released and let out over here and giving resources. And they got gangs over here, leaders creating gangs and causing problems in our communities. Yet you gonna hold somebody like a Larry Hoover and Jeff Ford in prison indefinitely. While you shelter and function allow other criminal elements to come in our communities. When them men can actually help and aid and create public safety by their own presence. No, free all political prisoners. And we're going to elect Trump so he can do it. Because since he did the First Step Act, he released all these federal prisoners across the country. that was over sentenced under the Clinton and Biden crime bill. Yes, I'm going to say it again. And hundreds of thousands of black men were mass incarcerated under the Obama administration. Make no mistake about it. Obama is incarcerated in chief. You can quit playing. Last I know, there's no cocaine fields in Illinois. Sure isn't. The black vote is free, so why should you buy something you already own? That's right. Reparations, sister said. Line up. Ex-cons for Trump. We got a major movement going on underway, y'all. You don't have to be an ex-con to be a part of the movement that we're pushing. Because we got relatives voting for Trump that we've convinced that the Democratic Party is not for us. Don't let them lie to you. This race is divided. Black folks is divided. Trust me. You see it. And for Kamala to win, she need over 80% of black votes. And she ain't going to get it. She's not going to get it, y'all. She's not getting 80%, over 80% of black votes. She's not getting it. Trust me, she's not. Because we divided amongst ourselves in the barbershops, in the beauty salons. We're divided in the street corners. Only the people that benefit mostly from Democrats with the little crumbs, and they're gonna stay in one part, they're gonna stay in one way. But the people who really got it, the grassroots, you got more of them that's not being counted. And that's being counted out. How much more time we got? We got a few more minutes. If anybody want to call in, and that's 708-223-8953, 708-223-8953. If you want to call in and express yourself, you got a few minutes. But it's been an exciting time for me. I mean, I can do this all day because I'm full, because I love my community. I love my people. I love the mission and I love to be a conflictist. I love to be an agitator because I love beating the big people up. I love fighting them. I love proving that they are liars. I love showing them up. You know, they got all the power and money to lie. They got all the power and the money to lock you out and to lock you up. But they don't have a monopoly on truth, y'all. They don't have a monopoly on truth. They have a monopoly on the lie. Because as long as you can put it out there and you got enough money to circulate it, it becomes true. Because most of our people don't read. They don't even have to read. All they have to do is look at the landscape of their apartments, their homes, their communities. You read the leaves on the trees. You don't have to know how to read physically. Just look at your community and your environment. And you will see that they haven't served you at all. Ex-cons for Trump, the movement, the agitation, the push is to say, hey, man, you don't have a monopoly on the black man vote. You really don't. We know, unfortunately, we haven't protected our women from being brainwashed by you pastors and politicians. Souls to the polls. Jesus turned over politicians and money changers tables in the church. But yet they bring these pastors in the church to drive the souls, your bodies, to the polls to vote for your demise. They feed you chicken on Sundays and feed you death on Monday and lies on Tuesday and false narratives on Wednesday and hope on Thursday. And on Friday you party, and on Saturday you party, and you back in church feeding lies. Because ain't no way in the world that if I was in prison, Jesus wouldn't visit me. If I was sick, he wouldn't nurture and care for the sick. If I was homeless or needing a meal, he wouldn't feed the hungry and shelter the homeless. Ain't no way in the world that's the Jesus they following. Impossible. How is it that you can follow a Jesus? Is the Jesus for the migrants different from the Jesus of black people? Gotta be. I want the Jesus of the migrants. I want that Jesus. Because the Jesus of the black people that y'all waiting on ain't coming. Ain't coming. The whole world use us as a stepping stone. Every Indian, every Arab, every Jew, every Asian, every what? Venezuelan, every foreigner, African, every foreigner use black people as a stepping stone for their own progress, and they don't even give you help. They don't even give you a handout. The Arabs come in your community in the name of Islam now. Get all types of tax breaks to violate your community. Don't give you nothing. Even got Arab babies running around because they have violated our women. Astaghfirullah, un-Islamic. The Indians come in with their stun, they Dunkin' Donuts and Subways, and we just keep supporting that crap. They don't give 10% back into the community that enriches them and make their worlds better when they come to America. The Asians have always disrespected us, and with the glue and the nails and everything else in our hair and our nails and the beauty supply stores, they've pretty much brain poisoned our women with glue and all types of gels. False eyelashes, false hair, false nail, everything. They've figured out a way to hustle us. Because we love beauty. Our low self-esteem don't allow us to be nothing but an outside shell with a heartless inside. And everybody play on us. And we so broken that even when God send us messengers and servants, we kill them. We violate them because you listen to the wrong people. You listen to the wrong people tell you that they bad when they putting their lives on the line for you. That's why. ExCons4 Trump, the movement, the brand, and the mission about to spark something. And we building it in a way that it's gonna translate into real resources, translate into real change and real accountability. Because you can't keep running these elections and running in these communities and think we're not gonna say nothing. We'll be at you. We most definitely coming to get you. So with that being said, I'm Tyrone Muhammad. This is ExCons4, the number 4 Trump, live on Intellectual Radio. Please visit ExCons4Trump.com for further information and upcoming events, and to get your memorabilia, hats, t-shirts, sweatshirts, whatever. But I thank you for tuning in. See you Thursday. And this is once again ExCons4 Trump, live on Intellectual Radio. Make sure you subscribe to Intellectual Radio and tune in to ExCons4 Trump every week.